Hello, welcome to part two. Very interesting tarot card reading, very much in the air element. I really like this spread. I like all of these cards, but I realize that maybe other people might not, or it may take a bit of effort to maybe consider these cards as a good and pleasant and good luck cards to have. You may have be feeling a certain way and been like, well, I would not describe what is going on in my life with these cards, but I can see it type situation. Um, no, but yeah, we have this obstacle here. I think we're the ones who are creating an obstacle with this reverse Eight of Swords, frustration. Can't the need for patience, can't see a way out of a problem, is I think the obstacle that we're laying out for somebody else. And I think it's because there's this bit of topsy-turvy going on with this hanging dragon here. Um, there's kind of like the ultimate readiness for a situation, and for some reason we have this hidden influence of maybe there's an element that should not be there. Maybe there's this is topsy-turvy because we have such high stature, such high exactitude with this king, and the this our three cards here are so dedicated, right, and disciplined and focused. I think there's something going on here that's not right, and so we're putting out this obstacle here with the Eight of Swords, the need for patience, which is very interesting. Again, I think it's, I don't want to compare and contrast with this. How connected we are today. Just right here in our hands, we have our phones and all this stuff. We're so connected, right? I don't want to compare and contrast. I just want to emphasize that this isn't necessarily a bad thing, and it's not a bad thing to be connected, and it's not a bad thing to be making these moves right here. The need for patience, I think, is often contrasted with this type of connectedness we have in society today. Like I said, I don't want to contrast the two things. I think these things can coexist, and like I said, I think it's very interesting, sociologically speaking. This emphasis on how this phrasing of how connected we are today. Um, with that being said, I guess it just fascinates people. I don't know. But anyway, I think we're putting out this obstacle here, frustration and the need for patience. And these words can, like I said, have a negative connotation, possibly due to our connectedness our society is today. Um, but here, seeing the King of Swords is kind of this authority type situation. I think is kind of a good conversation to bring up. So yeah, let's keep going. Let's see what our outside influence is. Temperance reverse. This is a fire. Is it fire and air element? I think this is a fire and water element, very much like the Crow Tarot here in the two hands. This dragon looks very playful. I think this is very interesting because of the Fool card. The dragon looks very serious, very if I didn't know, I would wonder if just by looking at the dragons, I would say I would think this one might be the Fool card, and the Fool I would say might be the Temperance card. The dragons are very interesting. This dragon looks very kind of playful, even, right? Looking into the reflection of this little puddle here he sees. But this card is very much like uh, what do you call it? The Hanged Dragon. Um, this kind of well, I guess there's a lot of softness here, right? There's a lot of discipline, but there's a lot of um, maybe attention to detail. There's a lot of a structure and hardness, but a lot of a delicate and sensitivity there. And this Temperance card is a maturity, looking in one's reflection, and this ability to master the elements. I'm going to go ahead and look at the meaning of the card. I hope you don't mind. Okay, those are angel hands, in case you're wondering. And pouring one vessel into another, the interconnectedness of the elements, one being fire, one being water. The reverse meaning, though, it says stuck in the past into introspective. Um, the upright is a reflection on one's life and maturation. So I think this is very interesting, considering our past card is the Two of Cups. I think this outside influence and this maturity and absorbed in the reflection, but the temperance, and y'all know what temperance is, right? It's like nice, pleasant, and peaceful, and maybe even a bit prudish. I don't know how else to describe this temperance word. Um, but I think this is very interesting reversed. I would say it's a very pleasant card, considering reversed is our Two of Cups here, or our past is our Two of Cups here. Our Temperance card is 100% committed. There's this Two of Cups, your team, your duo, your partners, your soulmates, and it is an impossibility to not include that in this reversed Temperance card. This dragon looking at absorbed in the reflection and the interconnectedness of elements. So I would say our outside influence is a very, very pleasant and positive card. And again, interesting how they're all reversed. Um, so let's see what our advice and solution is. The Eight of Wands. This is great. Our advice and solution is, so we get another 8 card, is things is speeding up. And we get the fire element, which is great. The Temperance card, I think, is technically a fire element too. The Hermit, I think, is the earth element. Of course, I'm going off the Crow Tarot. Here in the Dragon Tarot spread, they do not provide elements for the major Arcana card. But anyway, the Eight of Wands is the fire element, action, travel, spirituality. Um, and I think it's great that things is speeding up. So it seems like we have a lot of control over what's going on, which makes sense considering this King of Swords here and the pattern of our other cards sequence. We create an obstacle here, and because there's some sort of problem and issue with this maybe what the conversation should be about, maybe what the war should be about, maybe what the peace should be about. I don't know. But here, the advice and solution, it seems like we have quite a bit of control over our opponent, our antagonist, to our protagonist and the patient. So we have a lot of patience. So it's obviously for our adversary. And then this Eight of Swords upright, I would say that is probably something that we're doing. We're creating this advice and solution, which is great. And things is speeding up again. I think this interconnectedness, uh, uh, this kind of ease of knowing things. Um, uh, I forget the expression my dad used to say. He used to say like, "Oh, the good ones make it look easy." It's actually skill, talent, and experience that makes things you can make any sort of profession, career, things seem quite simple and easy to do. And maybe those things are not that simple and easy to do for just anyone, right? Um, so I would say whatever this energy is, which is really great energy, is creating an obstacle and also creating the advice and solution. With that being said, may also be an obstacle, not for us, but one we're creating for our adversary and antagonist. So let's see our future outcome. Three of coins. This is interesting. Gaining a new ability. Um, the Eight of Coins is abilities being displayed, but the Three of Coins is learning new abilities, which is interesting because a lot of in the coin minor arcana deck suit here in the Dragon Tarot, a lot of it is about money, which is makes sense because the coin here in the Dragon Tarot is a very much strictly business. Um, so gaining new ability, I guess, is not bad and kind of very interesting to get. So with this such a strong tarot card deck, and then our future and outcome is this gaining new abilities. I think that's what it is. Let me double check. Learning new skills and developing new abilities. So yeah, I think it's a very interesting as far as the future and outcome. Um, not a bad card to get. I would say successful, right? Here is would probably enter in a bit of this materialism, right? That was not really present in our entire spread up until now. And it's interesting that it's in the form of learning new skills and abilities and not really this kind of a materialism of maybe the Four of Coins, which is wanting to get money together, or the Five of Coins being unforeseen expenses, and the Queen of Coins being is it a woman of leadership? Let's see the King of Coins here. A woman who wants to develop the work side of her life, or the King of Coins, a man at the top of his trader profession. Um, so yeah, this is very interesting. Finally, we get the suit that focuses on a bit of a materialism, and it's the Three of Coins, so learning new skills and developing new abilities. I think again, this is very interesting. If I had to guess, somebody is in a position of authority, power and authority, and they shouldn't be. And it's going to be very obviously so. And seems kind of a bit of a fishing expedition because for some reason they're hidden. And so the future and outcome, it's going to show, I think, who they are. As far as this central theme of King of Swords reversed here. So yeah. Kind of an interesting tarot card reading. Um, I'm not really sure where else you can, what other interpretation you can get from that. Um, I would wonder maybe why there's this a need for this isolation and stuff like that. Um, as far as a chess strategy, Art of War book. Um, if maybe that's the way to this you operate, that's circumstances which you find yourself in, which would I would assume it would be that, considering there's a lot of power and authority here, and this lack of materialism, um, which is not a bad thing. Materialism in and of itself, I would say. I would say you get into kind of a lot of these statures that of discipline and power and authority. This sense of materialism would have to be there. So I think it's very interesting that we don't have that, and that's a sign and indicator of something's not right for whatever reason. Our problem and our problem and obstacle is kind of a bit vague, a bit evasive, a bit unknown. But I think here our future and outcome is we're going to show the problem. Our adversary is in no way of a stature of a king of swords here, the air element, but is what we are probably going to find is this three of swords, or sorry, three of coins type power and authority. Um, which I'm guessing probably can't handle the obstacle of patience, and probably can't handle this things as speeding up as also obstacle slash advice and solution. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna do the drawing off camera because I don't know when my mom's hair appointment is gonna end. I want to go to celebrate Gypsy's birthday at Dutch Bros. Oh, Benjo. Benjo's gonna stay here. I would show y'all him, but I don't want to show y'all my robe. This is the land. Anyway, so yeah, feel free to enter your thoughts into the conversation. Questions, comments, concerns. Obviously, I do not have access to them, but if you just want to share your free thoughts, since we're so connected in today's society, feel free to do so. If you don't want to do that, then don't. Okay, you have no obligation to do so. But yeah, overall, I think very positive. I think this is very complimentary towards us. And for some reason, something's so lost, something's misplaced, and it seems to be a very important to address. So, yeah, that's this week's tarot card reading for me and Tarot Card Papa Benjo. I'll post the drawing on Instagram at some point in time, and yeah, I look forward to the next tarot card reading. Talk to y'all later.